I was like, these are pretty basic things. Is this dumb? No, it's not. I had to remind myself that when I was getting ready for 2, knowing that some nights I would be solo, I was like, how am I going to do that? I can barely do it with 1. How am I going to do it with 2? How am I going to do it? So this video is for you. Hey guys, my name is Shayla. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, I talk about motherhood, I talk about pregnancy, we do things kind of natural, kind of hippie, kind of granola, like floor beds, co-sleeping, cloth diapers, elimination communication, nursing on demand, encapsulating your placenta. We try to keep things in the middle though, not too extreme. If you're into those things, please subscribe. If this is not your first time back, please like the video. Thank you for coming back. You can find me on Instagram, Hey Shayla. I've got a podcast, Hey Shayla, where I interview like the gurus about all those things I talked about. If you like my shirt, it's like a subtle mama shirt, like a black on black mama. Can you even see that? There we go. HeyShayla.com/shop. Today, we are gonna talk about solo bedtime with 2 children. This is a 2-part video. Part 1 is going to be solo parenting with 2 children. Part 2 is going to be the logistics of co-sleeping with 2 kids, a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old. I just remember thinking that was nuts. And I just made a video about if I regret co-sleeping. And I mentioned that I should make a logistics video about how to do it. And everybody was like, yes, please. The times of this may vary. Like our bedtimes, I feel like kind of late. It's like 7:30, 8 o'clock. And it just moves depending on like if they've taken a nap, how long ago their nap was, if they went to daycare that day, like a lot of activities that day. It varies. We're gonna pretend that we're aiming for a 7:30 bedtime. So let's go there. Setting the scene, it is about 5:45 and I'm like, okay, we're gonna start getting ready for dinner. And then I start cooking and you're like, wait, stop right there. How are you gonna cook if you have 2 children? Literally, I was like, I don't get it. Like you have to cut, you're holding a baby, you're in front of a stove. So I take my baby and I put her in the high chair. I don't know why that was mind-blowing to me. I was like, okay, I can put her in there before she eats. Give her like some peas, give her some puffs, give her something to snack on, maybe just some toys just to play with. Maybe a wrapper. That makes a little noise. The other one is either gonna be watching a show because I'm making dinner, or she's gonna be playing with a puzzle, or she's gonna be in here wondering what Ezzy's having for a snack and want one too. So that's where they are. Baby's in the high chair, toddler's running around doing something. I'm cooking. Making the meals, doing this, chopping up the food, singing to my baby. Then it's about 6:30. Dinner's ready. Aaliyah, come in here for dinner. Aaliyah sits down in her high chair, hopefully. Please get down. I don't know how well this is in there. Can you sit on your chair? Otherwise I'm gonna take this. I've learned that I need to eat with them at this time. This is the time where I also eat. Otherwise I've just like made all these meals, feed them, and then like do the whole bedtime thing, and then afterwards I have to like heat it up and remake it and whatever. So I sit down, I give Ezzy some scraps of whatever we're making that she can eat. I give Aaliyah like usually in a burrito form. She really likes to eat anything in a burrito. No, love, please don't share that with her. Too saucy for her. You're too saucy. Aaliyah. I eat mine at the same time, and then I usually eat pretty quickly, help them, and then I try and clean up. This is important because if you wait till the end of the day to clean up, and which if that works for you, fine. It doesn't work for me because at the end of the day, I'm like, I don't want to do anything else. But I love the reset. Like when you wake up in the morning, you're like, my room. Everything is so fantastic. How clean it is. This is wonderful. I'm glad the fairy came last night. Like no fairy comes to my house. So I've learned to do it before we start the bedtime. So at least I'm putting the dishes in the dishwasher, probably starting it. I try and run that every night. The pans I get to sometimes. Sometimes I don't. I really try to because those are a pain. But at least I'll try and rinse them. At this point, the baby's done being in the high chair because she's been in there before, now at dinner. So I usually take her out. She will just like lean on the dishwasher and like pull things out of the dishwasher. I don't care. I let her pull out as long as they're not knives, which stay way in the back of the dishwasher so she can't get them. Toddler's off in another world somewhere, probably just watching TV. I've learned to like stress way less about the TV because some days I'll go like a lot of days where I'm like, we really have not watched much TV. Like we've done a really good job. And that makes me feel better for the days that she does watch a lot of TV. But I had to be really mindful, like because I'd be like, okay, no more TV time, but then I wouldn't have anything for us to do. So I bought more magnetiles, I bought a train set, puzzles, but she also just likes to play like pretend. So we do that a lot too. Sometimes I'm like, come on, just go watch the TV so I can get something done. Like she's not into it. So I've learned that there is ebb and flow of the TV. Even if it's like months, like in the winter we watch more TV. In the summer we watch way less. So dishes are mostly clean. I try and like clean up the kitchen surfaces. It's time to set the timer. I'm gonna go get it. This timer came with our Love Every kit. If you want a Love Every kit, I am an affiliate, so I've got a link below. It is a toy subscription developmental kit. So basically, based on how old they are, it gives you toys that are specific to help them with each of their like abilities and their curiosities, and they're like really good quality, non-toxic. Anyway, this came in there. Here's what I love about this timer. See the colors? I go, okay, Aaliyah, 20 minutes, and she can see the time slowly disappear. Or I'll go, hey, Aaliyah, 10 minutes. She knows. And then it beeps. So Love Every doesn't sell those one-off, but I'll link some from Amazon because that has been really good. Like even now I'll be like, okay, we're gonna get ready for daycare, and she goes, set the timer. So I set the timer for 2 minutes, but it gives her a little bit of like a heads up about what's coming, a little bit of control of what's coming, and she can visibly see how long things are. When I set the timer, this is my time to reset everything. So I like that she's awake so I can be like, hey, let's clean up some of the toys. Sometimes she helps me, sometimes she helps a little bit, sometimes she helps a lot, whatever. I'm just gonna pick them up. So I pick up the toys in the living room, make sure that the kitchen is mostly picked up, and I try and like reset the house before we start to go to bed. During this time, I also gather all the things that I need for when they get out of the tub. I make sure that I have their towels, I make sure that I have their pajamas, I make sure that I have their diapers. Aaliyah goes to sleep with water and a spoonful of honey. I need to stop this, but honey can help them when they have a cough. So we would give her a spoonful of honey at night when she had a cough, and now it's just extended into just always. And honestly, it helps her get into bed because she can't have that honey until she's got all of her things ready and she's ready to lay down and go to sleep. So the drop of honey has gotten progressively smaller, but I get all of those things ready. I turn on the hatch light so that when I turn off the light, there's still a nightlight going. I turn on the bath and I just try and reset the house. And I've got a timer for myself for 15 minutes. At this point, usually Ezzy's either with me and she's running around with me on my shoulder, or she is crawling around. I just have baby gates, so she can't really go in places she's not supposed to go. At 7:15, the timer goes off, and if Aaliyah protests, she's like, no, I'd be like, sorry, babe, the timer went off. We said we had 15 minutes. Or I'll be like, if she didn't eat much, I'll be like, okay, Aaliyah, you've got 15 minutes. You're going to eat now, and then that's it. And just let her know, like, you still have time. But once that timer goes off, it's done. So then I'll turn off the TV or whatever we're doing. Ezzy didn't bathe regularly until she was like 4 months old. Aaliyah, we do every night. We don't wash her every night. We wash her on daycare days and pool days. It's just a routine to like help their body know what's about to happen. So once Ezzy could kind of sit up on her own, I put her in the tub with Aaliyah. For a while, she went in this tub, this like baby tub that we had, but she kept trying to crawl out of it eventually, so I was like, fine. So she sits with Aaliyah. I wash them off, I wash their hair, we do all the things that we need to do. They've got toys that they play with. I usually will wash my face. Maybe I'll put on like the frownies, if you know what those are. P.S. I'm not sold on them yet. I still have this very big butt crack in my head. It's just gonna get worse because you can't get Botox or anything while breastfeeding or pregnant, so. And I'll try and brush my teeth. So I try and do a few things for myself during that time. Obviously, while being very close to watch the baby because she's still a baby. When I feel like I've got my stuff done, they seem like they're kind of getting ready to get out, I'll get the baby out first. Aaliyah stays in the tub if she wants to. If she wants to get out, then I pull them both out. But typically, take the baby out first, bring the baby in the room, lotion her up. I trust Aaliyah in the bathroom. She's almost 3, so that feels good to me. If your babies are closer, this could be a little trickier, but put the diaper on, put the pajamas on, good. Then I hang the towel back up. I'm trying to help my later self. I'm all about doing things now that's going to help my later self, which is why I've already tried to reset the house. Does that happen every time? No. Do I like it to happen? Yes. Bring the baby into the bathroom, get Aaliyah out, bring her in the towel, then carry them both out of the bathroom into the bedroom.
You're not standing carrot.
Ezzy goes on the floor, so she can't fall off the bed. Seems reasonable. Aaliyah goes on. I put lotion on her, put her diaper on, put her pajamas on. Both kids are in their diapers, pajamas, lotioned up, and then we sit down. Sometimes we read a book. Sometimes we just get our water, have our honey, and lay down. Then we gotta brush your teeth, okay? Immediately, Ezzy's ready to nurse, so I just hold her, nurse her. Aaliyah comes on this side. Sometimes she wants to snuggle, sometimes she doesn't. I know that the next part will probably take 20 to 30 minutes, and that's fine. I know that they're not just gonna lay down and pass out. Some nights they do because they're exhausted. But I need to prep my mind that this is gonna take a while, and I'm gonna help them to power down. Sometimes Aaliyah is a maniac, and she's yelling and screaming and not yelling and screaming, she's just like talking and singing and and like going down to the foot of the bed and then the top of the bed and trying to crawl over to Ezzy's side and blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, I know that I just need to let her spin out until she falls asleep. The more that I try to be like, Aaliyah, go to sleep, Aaliyah, because I've also done that, she gets more amped up. Ezzy usually kind of stays awake a little bit, but then she'll just fall asleep nursing. Aaliyah will then like spin herself out and go to sleep. When she finally will lay down, sometimes it's after some chaos, sometimes it's not, then we talk about our day. What did we do today? We woke up. Ooh, do you remember you had eggs for breakfast? And one fell on the floor and Ezzy ate it later. And we just talk about like little details of the day. We've started to say a prayer, which is interesting because I'm not a super religious person. I grew up Catholic. I just remember when I was little, like saying these prayers and I really liked it. So we added that in there, which is cool because then we get to say, God bless, whatever. Jess and Abby, God bless teacher, God bless anybody that we saw that day. And it's just kind of a fun little thing to do. Then we say good night, and I say her full name, and then she asks me what my full name is, and then she says good night my full name, and then good night Ezzy's full name, and then good night Daddy's full name, and then we say I love you, good night, and then we lay down, and hopefully we just fall asleep. And if we don't, then we just keep going until we do, because I know eventually they're gonna fall asleep. So I just relax, kind of let her talk, and sometimes I'll say, okay, Aaliyah, mommy's going to sleep and you need to be quiet because Ezzy's trying to sleep too, so you don't need to go to sleep, but you do need to be quiet. And that usually helps. Sometimes it just doesn't. Sometimes she's just insane and chaotic because she's not tired. Sometimes it takes an hour to get her to sleep. Some nights she passes out immediately and Ezzy's like all over the place still. And it just is what it is. And then they fall asleep. And then I either fall asleep with them. I've really been trying to keep my phone in the kitchen during this process because I used to let them both fall asleep and then I'd get on my phone. And then like the blue light, the stimulation, and I found that if I put it in the kitchen, which is really hard to do, which is like embarrassing to admit, I can like just relax and like think and have thoughts. And I bought a little light up pen so I can write things down if I need to. Otherwise I'll get up and they both just lay in the bed. Usually Ezzy wakes up like 45 minutes later and I have to go help her back to sleep. And then she'll wake up 45 minutes later and I have to help her back to sleep, and then she'll fall asleep. But by then I need to go to bed. But I'll go out there, I'll maybe have like my vitamins, drink some water, go to the bathroom, whatever I need to do to like go to get ready for sleep. Or Seth will come home. I just have to do the bedtime part. If you are pregnant and you're like, how am I gonna do bedtime with two? Your situation is going to look totally different because like our bedroom and our bathroom are really close together. So I can go bring Ezzy there and have Aaliyah in the bathroom. You might have kids that are closer together. There's just a million factors that could be. What I want you to know is that you can do it. It might take a while to find a flow, to find what works for you and your family. Like it didn't happen overnight and it still changes. And then your partner comes in on the days that they can be there and you're like, you're messing up my flow. We actually don't go to bed at 7. We start bath time at 7:15. What are you doing? And so like trying to be flexible there too. But just know that it might be chaotic. They will eventually go to bed and you will eventually get a cycle. And they know. They like understand your capacity of what you can handle and kind of stay within that from what I've found. So I hope this video is helpful for you if you were just like panicking about having to do solo bedtime alone, because it can feel like a lot. So I hope this was helpful. I will see you guys next time. Mwah. Bye.